My name is Jaromir Likavec. I am simple network guy, working past 20 years designing IP networks, troubleshooting, routing, switching, security, wireless, network services. And I agree fully with Peter. You have to consider all these problems, and even more, you are always, per definition, you are always guilty, unless you prove otherwise. Also, you have to point out that the guys who are responsible for clients or server application, it's not the network producing problem or issues, but the problem is somewhere else. One question to the audience: how many of you have deployed 2 or multiple session authentication in the company? 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. So I will, in my agenda, I will shortly. I cannot pinpoint all the problems I faced during past month, migrating from legacy network to the network with from security points this new dimension on high security. So I'm working for Fraunhofer Institute for Computer Graphics with headquarters in Darmstadt, branch offices in Rostock, Graz, and Singapore. There are there are about 9 competence centers covering really all computer graphic visualization, visual analytics, using cutting-edge technology, and always everywhere is present nowadays wireless. I cannot bring all demos in each because it will take more than several times 10 minutes. I will show. We are really the days of silicon graphics workstation worth of over $500,000 is past. Everything is now happening on iPads, Microsoft HoloLens. Simply, they are really using HoloLens, generating in real time huge amount of data, covering from hundreds of thousands components on BMW, bringing it at Microsoft HoloLens in real time. It's going then with other components, but it's very interesting. Automobile, each automobile industry is different application in wireless is happening. And characteristic this environment where I'm working is really high security environments. Requirements is heterogeneous mobile equipment, a mixture of private and corporate equipment, need for bring your own device, need for remote access, a constant need for deployment of new user cases. Really, you cannot imagine how often your department come with new cases you have to solve on really in short period. need for network monitoring and structured approach for troubleshooting, really using cutting-edge technology. Really, since the Raspberry Pi and such a components are in the such a very cheap components, the use cases are exploding every week. So what was the motivation? If you are using legacy, MAC address to bring one component to the VLAN or user-based, user and password-based, and VPN, you cannot use MAC address for coming to the network, to the corporate network. Also, that was very important. You are, as network guy, you are always somewhere in between management, security officers, your users, and your colleagues in the same IT department. So private components, private devices are always evil. As an administrator, you cannot access them. Corporates are good because as administrator, you can always access them. Although it was need to develop unified access for unified access concept for end devices and deploy device user-based authentication and authorization. So if you consider use case security requirement, two-factor authentication was needed, certificate and username and password. You have to prevent certificate sharing between different users. You have to check whether the certificate exists in Active Directory before allowing VPN. Use ID membership as a criteria for allowing VPN. PC, laptop or PC has to be joined to AD domain. And verified device certificate is really on correct device. You have to, yes, you are somewhere in between. You have always to make compromise in this deployment. And most important, you have to done migration without network outage, without, also you have to move it slowly forwards. You have trusted user on trusted device, full access, and all the combination till untrusted user, untrusted device with no access. And you have always special cases, some project partners that need to access with other equipment to inside network on special devices. So we generate computer certificate. We extend our management from user and computer with new certificate generation. Using the Active Directory groups. Active Directory, as a matter of fact, we made it a repository for all computers, for all users, for all networks attributes. And as a result, you can download certificate from the URL with password. You can use QR code for this reason. There are all different architecture. For the Windows, you can automatically deploy certificate and extend them. For mobile devices, Apple, Mac, and Linux, you have to manual generate and web download. You have to combine it. We have a department where it belongs to headquarters, Fraunhofer, but you cannot generate our institute certificate for that. And you can use mail certificate combined with MAC addresses. Also, you can generate your own policy for special case management. Also, what is checked? Certificate validity, certificate revocation list, device entry at Microsoft AD, user password, or any other combination you can imagine. You introducing new system, you have to put it for simultaneously for both wireless and remote access. When you solve this problem, naturally you can extend it you also for wired part. The key component of the system, you have to have one very intelligent radio server. We have working as an active failover. You have Microsoft Active Directory and Microsoft Certificate Authority. The base, we are using Cisco AnyConnect Mobility because it's spread over the different architecture, supporting TLS and supporting multiple factor authorization. So, how you look, it's like the multiple two-factor authentication. You are connecting, you get question about, can I use this certificate? You are entering username and password. You are getting warning. You are entering secure environment. And finally, you are connected. Then, automatically, you can do this device profile using your infrastructure for device profiling, using probes as a radius, DHCP, net flow to getting parameters for different devices, and automatically applies apply policies to distribute them to printer VLAN, voice VLAN, dynamische VLAN, and so on. You can also doing posture assessment, compliance check for operating systems, analysis for antivirus, anti-spyware, personal firewalls. You are then the computer is going to the quarantine network where is remediation services available. Monitoring, you need different monitoring and troubleshooting, different tools we are using, because if you are familiar with these tools, you can pinpoint as soon as possible the network issue. In summary, this way you can improve in security and also operating cost with using device certificate and separate corporate and private devices. And what is more important, it's not the network issue. And even more, issue is there, you can prove it's still not the network issue. And thank you. That's all.
Good. Thank you.